Time for What's Hot. We talk about the stories that have us all talking.
And we're joined today by Barb Bartlein from the People Pro Plus, and Jeff Wagner is back with us. All right, here we go. A Georgia student gets suspended for hugging a teacher. The 17-year-old was suspended for sexual harassment. A surveillance video shows the hug and the teacher pushing the boy away. He said he hugged the teacher before and denies being told not to hug her again. Should this teen have been suspended?
Okay, now, see, this is one where I think it's really important to see the videotape, and I had a chance to watch it. Now, normally you hear this, oh, they've suspended a 5-year-old for kissing someone on the cheek. You watch this videotape, and the kid kind of comes up behind the teacher, and he grabs her by the left shoulder, and then kind of puts his arm around her. She says he kisses him, that he kisses her. You can't quite tell that whether or not, but she pushes him away, and the teacher is very clear that she told him not to do it. I don't know that you suspend him for a year, but I think this was inappropriate behavior on the part of the young man.
It was definitely inappropriate, Jeff, and I think it's an issue of boundaries. You know, this is a kid that I don't think has very good boundaries. His mother says, well, he just hugs everybody. Well, you know what? You can't go around the world just hugging everybody.
Right.
Because
the world would be a better place, though, Barb.
We'd all be happier, right?
But there's a hug and there's a hug. You know?
Yeah, well, except, you know, you're violating somebody's personal space. I agree with you also. He needed to be suspended, some kind of disciplinary action. I think a year was a little bit too much.
Right.
Let him finish senior year and maybe go see a counselor a couple times. I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, because he didn't. Well, I think this was more than just a hug. This was kind of like a grab. He didn't grope her, you know,
Right.
but he did. So, I mean, but he was clearly wrong, and you can just tell from her reaction. And if she's, in fact, telling the truth, and she could very well be, because, again, you can't quite see on the videotape, it also does appear to me that he probably did kiss her. I mean, I'm sorry, you know, who walks up to your high school teacher and kind of grabs her from behind, you know, and kisses her on the cheek? That's weird behavior, even if you're a hugger. I'm sorry.
He is a senior, though, and this is really going to derail his academic career. So you worry, as you say, about the severity of this punishment.
Right. Yeah, I don't exactly understand why it was a year, because to me that's kind of the nuclear option. Now, they say that he'd been warned and he'd had other disciplinary issues beyond the sexual harassment thing here. So maybe it was just a lot of stuff and this was the culmination. But the kid was wrong.
Maybe it was an opportunity to get rid of him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never know. It's you really have to be down there, I guess, to get more information.
And his mother's appealing it, so we shall see what happens later.
Right.
He's a hugger. What are you going to do? Coming up next, we're revealing our viewer's choice topic of the day. And
Brian Goddard will have another look at your winter forecast. We'll be right back. First choice topic of the day. Again, we're joined by Barb Bartlein and Jeff Wagner of 620 WTMJ. All right, next topic. A U.S. congressman is under fire for saying students who get a free school lunch should work for it. Here's what he said. He said, why don't you have the kids pay a dime, a nickel, to instill in them that there is no such thing as a free lunch? So, with that being said, what are your thoughts on the issue?
I think this is one of the stupidest things I've heard in a long time. In fact, it's going to get him on my list of men with mush for brains. Why are we having the students be punished because their parents aren't paying for their lunches? When my husband was teaching in Milwaukee Public Schools, he frequently had kids who didn't have lunch money. And they would say it's because my mother was at the casino or my father lost his job. Why would we punish the children for family circumstances? I think if anybody should be down at the school working, have the parents come down.
Yeah, I was trying to think when you started off saying it's one of the stupidest comments you've heard in a long time. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that's on my list of that. I would agree. Look, I understand the whole concept of, you know, getting people off of welfare and making them work. You know, we did that in Wisconsin, and I'm a proponent of that. I'm not sure exactly why you target the kids and why you do it in this situation. I guess I'm with you, Barb. If you feel the need to do it, again, maybe, you know, get the parents if they're not doing it. But I appreciate the idea of wanting to instill a work ethic in people. I think that's important. I'm not sure making kids sweep cafeteria floors for their, you know, subsidized breakfast I'm not sure we're really at the point where we need to do that yet.
And if they don't have enough energy for learning because they don't have enough to eat, I don't think they have enough energy to sweep or mop the floors. I'm glad you said it, Barb, and not I.
Well, and there's an embarrassment factor there, too.
Absolutely. These are kids that probably already are, put down by some of the other students for having poor-looking clothes or whatever. Now we're going to have them be sweeping the floor in their spare time? This is a terrible idea.
They're there to work, or they're there to learn, not to work.
Exactly.
They're there to work on academics, not manual labor.
Exactly. Right. Well, okay, get to the lightning round. A student in Pittsburgh put an ad on Craigslist to pay someone to go to Harvard for him. Yes, I said Harvard.
I should have thought of that. All right. He offered $40,000 a year, plus tuition, books, housing, living expenses, and more. He said all you have to do is pass the classes and pretend to be him. What do you think, guys?
Who has the money and time for this?
Fast track to the college degree?
What a gig. What a gig. I'd love it. I mean, I just think we've gone to another level. It used to be maybe get somebody to write a term paper. Why not just have somebody else go to school for you?
Yeah, I'm wondering, where was this guy 35 years ago? I would have loved to have taken a chance at this.
You would have took the job, huh?
40 G's, absolutely. I'm sure, I hope this is a joke, and I'm sure Harvard is not exactly popping its buttons over this, but, come on.
Maybe the guy's just trying to get some quick money. I crunched the numbers. Harvard tuition, about $43,000. So he's actually saving a little bit of money.
But what is the point of having someone else go to school? I want to know what this person does that they can't interact in class and they can't go to school for themselves.
Well, they're lazy. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's at the casino in South Beach.
Exactly.
He's blowing that $3,000 that he saved on
but
having
he wants
the
a
guy
Harvard
go to college.
education.
Right. Yeah, okay. He's going to get that piece of paper and he didn't have to do the work. Talk about a free lunch.
Good one, Barb. Good
Hey,
one.
this is just a quick note. This is my last What's Hot of this year. I'm taking off next week. I just want to say Merry Christmas to all of you, and Merry Christmas to everybody who watches us on a daily basis. We really appreciate it a great deal. And Merry Christmas to you, Cody and Shannon and Barb. Thanks for putting up with me all year.
Oh, that was
right
and we do. And we do.
Thanks a lot. Well, the What's Hot discussion continues online, even though Jeff's taking his staycation. Find that page at tmj4.com/hot.
And coming